everyone, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Heroes. Fire Emblem, new emblem, Emblem Corrin. Here we are with a new showcase, an emblem showcase, where we have Emblem Corrin female. There is no Emblem Corrin male, so technically I will just call her Emblem Corrin. Forgive me for that, but technically it is their choice to choose which of the male or female avatar gets an emblem slot. So, she's more or less like all the Corrin that we've seen, very powerful tank, but she also has the emblem effect, which obviously will go on similar, not always tanks, but supportive characters. But more on that in the big showcase. For now, everything that you need to know about the character, so animation, dialogue, art, etc. Then build showcase, and then gameplay showcase, the usual. So without further ado, let's start this latest emblem showcase.
It is not up to emblems to decide the world's fate. In Helios, Alir decides. And here, it is up to you to forge a path into the future. Oh! My memories of Helios and of the three paths are what shaped me into who I am. I can imagine the look on my siblings' faces if they saw me like this. The northern fortress of Solm is where my ring was. I also spent much time in the northern fortress of Nor. Oh, for a second I didn't see you there. Seedal is a wonderful dancer. His long, flowing hair reminds me of Azura. Bare your fangs, emblem of fates, is the invocation to summon me. I hope you try it someday. Oh, for a second I didn't see you there.
Emblem Corrin, build showcase. So here we are with another Corrin, female, but always a Corrin, and one that has a armored movement plus red sword. We have a combo that obviously brings a lot to the table, since usually she's colorless, but we do have a very resolute stat line that shows she can take a lot of hits and also dish back quite some damage. High HP, high attack, high speed, medium defense, high res. So don't be worried by the low def, because it is something that she makes up with the rest of her kit, but obviously it's not like a character can be perfect. There will always be some weaknesses, so be careful for anti-armored weapons or effects, for example. Let's start with her weapon. We do have a weapon that grants her already distant counter as a baseline, which is pretty nice. Then we have, as I defined last time with Bridal Ash, effects that a new weapon always have: true damage, stats, true damage reduction, and another damage reduction on special. In her case, the damage reduction and extra damage is based on her res, which is pretty high. So it is something that you do want to focus on when giving her, for example, a seal, more res. We also have a null follow-up effect, which obviously is something very good for a tank to have, especially one that can be very vulnerable to melee characters with Brave or in general multiple attacks, so very nice to have. And then we have a unique effect, which is the Draconic X. This is a debuff that she inflicts on foe during combat, which increases all the penalties that they have, more or less, based on some of those penalties. So a pretty good effect all in all. Then we also have an extra give to everyone anti-DR, but it is a percentage, so it's nothing that crazy that needs a whole lot of attention. Now, don't be scared about what I'm going to show here. It is a lot of text, but it's mainly this bulk over here with Divine Vein, and Canto Control. The rest is pretty simple. Special that works of unit res. Then we also have a offensive tempo, reduces damage, and modifies the speed you need to do a double attack on this Corrin, which is pretty nice, obviously. As I told you, for multiple attacks or brave weapons against this Corrin, it makes her life a whole lot more simple. And then finally we have the two effects, the Divine Veins, Icicle and Vert. So Icicle, you've probably seen those two Divine Veins before, is the one that blocks your movement on a certain tile, while Vert is something that exists to help. It triggers Canto Control, it debuffs the enemy, it slows down their special, and also speeds up your own special. So we have debuffs, Canto Control, Guard, and Skull. Basically, those effects are the ones that trigger when you are on Vert, if you are the enemy, obviously, but also if you are the allies, you get the positives, because if you are facing an enemy on that tile, they get inflicted with it. Okay, so those two effects are also her engage effect. So she gives an ally that engages with her Divine Vein Icicle and Divine Vein Vert. Which are the characters that want this kind of effect? Mainly supports, so it can be staff or just a general support, etc. Or tanks. Why? Either to stall or to protect yourself. The Icicle is very good at protecting yourself against melee enemies, while the Vert is good for tanks to reduce the enemy stats and inflict other effects. So it's not something that I would put on an offensive character for sure. There are a lot of better emblems for offensive characters. Then we have our other skill, Torrential Boost. This one we've seen it before, HP plus 5, she gets a stats, healing, and Briar M save. This one gives her save, obviously something that she wants for sure, since she does have also distant counter, so she always dishes back damage and also disables adaptive damage. Very good if she faces a dragon character. Paid up 4 is the usual B-slot special skill that they give Emblem characters. It's not an exclusive skill, but it's something that, like a premium skill, it will be the best term to use. This one gives her very good effects to counter even more brave or multiple attack characters, increase the speed difference necessary for foe to make a follow-up attack by 10, something that we already saw before, so it's nothing that we haven't already noticed in this character. Neutralizes penalties on unit, unit deals plus 15 damage, damage reduction by 10, and also if she triggers unit attack twice on the enemy, she gets another through the R of 7, pretty nice overall. Also, she gets another through the R based on the distance between her and the foe, so it is generally, I guess, 2 or 4, since there is only distance 1 or distance 2. There is also distance from those special styles, but I wonder how that counts. I'm not really sure if it is counted here. I should try it, but I don't know how, since that's mainly something you get faced against in PvP. Still, overall, she has a pretty bulky damage reduction, which is what's important. So is she a good emblem? Yes. So I will say that she's an emblem that obviously goes into a supportive / tank role. We have a lot of tanks. The emblem effect itself, there are probably more useful emblems to get, but for a character she is very good, and getting the emblem effect is another bonus, if that makes sense. I wouldn't put her as like the most highest priority emblem, but pretty high. I would say that's my best way to describe her utility. Still, obviously, getting an emblem is always a nice result out of your end of the Monte Gacha, so do not sleep on her for sure. Anyway, that's it for Emblem Corrin. Next, as I told you, we do have some more showcases. Hopefully, I want to wait a month to do the next ones. But I've been enjoying getting back in Fire Emblem, so maybe they will come pretty fast. Remember to smash that like, subscribe, or join button if you want to support the channel even more and become part of the community. Or leave a super thanks if you want to support the channel as a whole. Thank you very much and enjoy the gameplay showcase.
I got this.
On our way.
I'll follow you.
Yeah. What should I do?
Let's do this.
Yes, I shall follow. I'll vanquish them.